legends where magic meets the heart. Commander's Pod, where the stories unfold, with heroes and villains new and old. Duncan, Jeff, and Sloan got the word. In the world of EV8 we play.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Commander's Pod. I'm your pod father, Duncan.
I'm Sloan.
And Jeff is traveling this week, so we will not have him in once again. But we'll try and have some fun without him.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to talk about just some random thoughts, things that have happened, things we're working on. So we're going to talk about the Deadpool Secret Lair that came out. That was a surprise. We're going to talk about the Commander Deck Secret Lair, which when you're watching this, I'm going to try and publish this on Wednesday, so you'll have some warning if you didn't know about it, because they're going to announce it at 9 a.m. Pacific time. But anyway, we'll get into that. There's a Commander Deck Secret Lair that they're going to announce supposedly before they release it. Some are saying it might be the same time. We're going to talk about Tarkir pre-release, how that went, and we're going to talk about a cool Commander League that my shop is doing.
Yeah,
I think you guys might be interested in.
For sure.
So first I want to give a subscriber shout out. Tyler wrote to us that he had updated his Yorvo deck. He sent me a couple versions of that, and it seems to be going pretty well. I warned him about power creep because he kept adding more and more powerful stuff. I'm like, you got to watch out because they'll add more stuff more powerful than yours, and then you add more stuff powerful anyway.
Right.
So it looked pretty good. Maybe we'll do a deck tech on that if he wants us to at some point.
Yeah,
and maybe give some recommendations on it. I'd like to do that when Jeff is here. And then he also mentioned he opened a full art mana crypt and he was thinking of putting it in. Just remember, Tyler, that was banned back in, what was that, October?
Yeah.
So just make sure your play group's okay with you playing it. I mean, if you guys all like Mana Crypt and don't want to play without it, then you do you, but just do realize it is officially banned. So I kind of feel bad because that full art Mana Crypt was probably worth a lot more, 6 months ago.
Right, and if anyone's been watching, it has slowly started creeping back up because there are rumors of a potential unban being announced this month. So some people are thinking it may be Mana Crypt or maybe some other cards. We're not sure.
Yep.
So a lot of people are starting to raise the price again of it because if it is one of the ones that they unbanned, it could be immediately put back into pretty much everyone's decks again, like it once was.
Yeah.
For those who have it. So, but yeah, thank you for reaching out to us and updating us and letting us know. Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig is the commander that we're referring to. Pretty cool commander, cool concept. Interested to see if you'll let us do a deck tech, see if we have any updates that maybe we thought of that you didn't think of. And also, like Duncan said, beware of the power creep. Yeah, it'd be real.
Yeah, it does. I looked it over. It looks like he's keeping it, fair. So, anyway, so normally we would have Aggro Jeff. What's your predictions this time?
Oh, yes. I love predicting Aggro Jeff. So let me think. If I had to think, man, he's traveling again.
He can't complain about travel every single time.
I think the reason why I am going to say it's travel, but this is I'm going to make it very specific. So to give myself less room for being right. But if I am right, I feel like it counts for bonus points. So the trip that he's on right now, he left today, had to go to a meeting once they got there, wakes up tomorrow morning, goes to a meeting, then flies back tomorrow afternoon.
Right.
I think he's going to complain about it was pretty much a waste of time. There was no reason for them to go. It was silly that they flew him up there to be there for basically 12 hours and then just to turn around and fly him back. I feel like that's what he's going to complain about. He goes like, I literally was on a flight and in the hotel longer than I was at the conference.
Right.
I feel like
I mean, that could be. Could be.
So that's my guess. I think he's going to complain about that very specifically. Not just that he's traveled, but he traveled for pretty much no time whatsoever. Yeah. I think that's going to be it.
Okay. Could be. I would say I don't think that's it because I think that he complained about that before he left.
But not on here, though. So,
no, not on here.
Not on here. So
but,
that's what I'm holding on to.
I think he is going to complain about airports.
Yeah.
Or airplanes. I mean, air travel.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. My second backup was maybe the last time we went to the shop, you guys just lost all your games and you didn't neither of you won, and I thought maybe
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
that was 2 weeks in a
I
row.
thought maybe that would be it.
I don't think he'll remember that. His
I
memory's
don't think
not
he will
well,
either.
and it's
That's why
been
I
a
didn't
few
go with
weeks.
it.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't go with it. But
As soon as he went back to home and stopped coming, I started winning again. So it's just him. But anyway, so let's talk about the secret Deadpool Secret Lair.
right, this first off, very on brand for Deadpool.
Yeah. Well, first off, even before that, let's talk about the fact there was hints that they were going to drop a secret lair on
Right.
Twitter and stuff and on their website on April Fool's Day.
Right. Which,
But it's April Fool's Day.
right.
Yeah. So then they did drop a drop on April Fool's Day, but it
Right.
was April Pool's Day,
Right.
right? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, the cards were on brand 100%.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, Deadpool, they dropped him as an actual new card with a new mechanic. So this isn't like a reskin. This isn't like a Deadpool just art cover of a card. Like this is a real legally to play Deadpool card. They then took, was it 5 other cards or 4 other cards? Is it total?
4 other cards.
So 4 other cards. They
And
then-
him.
And him. So the 4 other cards, though, are all existing cards that they just reskinned with Deadpool art. And in my opinion, some of the funniest flavor text because it was Deadpool-esque also.
Yeah.
So the thing that was crazy was it almost, to me, it still doesn't seem like it's real until we actually get the cards. Like,
Yeah. Mine was shipped out, by the way.
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty dope. So part of me is like, I feel like we're gonna get these, and they're gonna be like, "Nah, here's your $50 back." It's just gonna be like $50 in a secret layer wrapped box.
Yeah. Or it's like some crayon written.
Yeah, it's like something that's completely, because again, they did it on April 1st. Because I don't know if anyone else was paying attention, but they also came out with new bands and new game changer editions on April 1st. And at the very end of the article,
Well, they didn't. That was Commander Quarters. That was Mitch from Commander Quarters joked about that.
yeah. So
Yeah.
So there was an announcement.
Yeah, so
about
there was
that.
news about that, and some people
We're
thought it
freaking
was
out
real.
because there was Soul Ring on there,
Ristic Study.
which I laughed so hard. And I was like, oh, part of me really hopes this is real, so I can just rub it in Jeff's face when he was like, "They'll never put Ristic Study there." Like, pff. So, but no, that was also
You're
fake.
like, nothing is sacred. They could do anything.
Nothing is sacred. They can literally do whatever they want, which is crazy. Like they could honestly put the Soul Ring on Game Changers just because enough people complain about it being too fast, right? But anyway, so they did that on April 1st too. There was an article going around about that where the Commander Quarters kind of made this huge video.
And
about
the
it,
fact
and
that
it got really
the day
popular.
before, I believe, was a ban day for the other formats.
Right, yeah, and that's the thing that was crazy because there was other cards that were banned literally just right before it for the other formats, like Duncan said. So the whole kind of arrival of this was like, this can't be real, right? Like no one, like this isn't actually happening. But yeah, sure enough, it dropped. So we're gonna go. If you Casey didn't get to see them and you don't know what we're talking about, we're gonna go over the cards and we'll put the art up so you guys can kind of see it too, and you can understand what we're going through. But they did non-foiled and foiled versions. I think same price point that they've been for all the other ones.
It was a
$39.
little more. It was a little bit more.
So a little bit more. So $39.99 I think was a non-foiled, and $49.99 was the foiled, if I remember correctly, right? From when it dropped on April 1st, affectionately known as Deadpool Day.
April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day. But five cards in total, and so Duncan's got the first one pulled up, so we'll let him read it. And this is
Deadpool himself.
this is Deadpool himself.
Now, this is the only unique card among them.
Right.
The rest of them are not reskins. They have his art, but they're the names they were, and they're all existing cards, but I
Right.
think they all fit him. But so this is Deadpool trading card. 2, a black and a red. Legendary creature, mutant mercenary hero. He is a 5/3. And wait till you hear this ability.
I love this ability.
As Deadpool enters, you may exchange his text box and another creature's. So now, from this point on, the rest of this is what the other creature will now say.
Right.
At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 3 life.
So good.
But you can pay 3, sacrifice this creature, and each other player draws a card.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, just give them a poison pill.
Yeah.
and he gets whatever they had on their text box. If they had an ETB effect, he will get that ETB effect.
Correct, because he is ETBing as that creature,
Right.
essentially.
And if it mentioned the card's name, it will change to mention his name.
Right.
So
the and like I mentioned previously, the flavor text on these is killing me. So for Deadpools, this might be a little bit of an older reference for some of you younger guys and younger kids, but draw me like one of your French cards. Is a reference to Titanic, in case you're not sure.
Yep.
And it's so on theme for Deadpool to just troll a whole nother genre.
Yeah.
So hard. Friggin' hysterical. The art is really cool. One of the things I like about this art, so obviously his ability changes the text box of his with another creature. He's literally cutting the text box with his sword.
Yeah.
Super, again, well done. Thought it was well done. The picture is great. The text is great. Again, they went red black, obviously, because he is red black. But he is kind of chaos, so red makes sense for him, and the fact that he can't die, black also makes sense.
and yeah, he kills people.
Yeah, and he just brutally murders people for the sake of doing it. So, very cool. I thought great colors, great, well done concept. He is a mutant mercenary hero. So,
and what's cool is mercenary has recently been a theme.
Right, and that's what I was just about to bring up. Thunder Junction, if you guys remember, they started this whole thing where they kind of batch a bunch of creature types together.
And outlaws. And there were mercenaries in that.
Right.
But anything that refers to outlaws will refer to him.
Right.
There's some cheeky things you can do with that.
Yeah,
so cool.
Just as a kind of general concept of this card, because I kind of want to go, with this one specifically, I want to talk about this. So, on a scale of like 1 to 5, they nailed it out of the park. I think everything about this card is perfect, being a 5. What would you say they did with this Deadpool card in your mind? Like, how do you think they did this?
I would give it a 5. I mean, they nailed it. They nailed a great ability that sounds like it should be an uncard, but it's not. Just like Deadpool seems like he should not be part of the Marvel Universe because he breaks the fourth wall and he's just goofy and weird, but he is.
Yeah. I mean, and I am a Deadpool fanboy. I do love Deadpool. I love the Merc with the mouth. I think it's hysterical. Also, I mean, trying not to be a fanboy, but yeah, 5, man. I mean, they killed this. The art's perfect. The flavor text is perfect. The colors are perfect. I love the fact that he's called Deadpool Trading Card.
Yeah.
Freaking just a troll because, again, breaking the fourth wall, realizing that he's in a game. And just so well done. Just freaking hysterical. Whoever designed this at Magic, Wizard of the Coast,
the Secret Lair team,
whoever they are, give them a raise. I mean, the artist was Justine Cruz, it looks like, on here from the picture that we have. Great job. Congratulations.
Yep.
Fantastic. Absolutely a fan, top to bottom, for sure. So we're going to hit the other cards real quick because, again, they're just repeat cards with new art on them. So we'll hit the flavor text and kind of just tell you what the cards are. So I'll get the next one. Deadly Rollick, 3 and a black. You guys know it. Again, the art is freaking hysterical.
He is. I mean, we'll have it behind us. He's riding down Cable, katanas in hand, rearing on a unicorn.
On a unicorn with
butterflies and a rainbow.
Yeah, and for all you audio listeners who aren't seeing, again, just freaking hysterical. And then the flavor text, I normally... I gotta get through this. Okay, I normally charge for my Merc services, but I just can't say no to someone who controls their commander.
Right, because it's free if you control your commander.
Right, and again, he's breaking the fourth wall. He knows he's in a game. Like, again, well done. And this one was done by Kevin Sidharta. Art's fantastic. Freaking hysterical. Nailed it out of the park. Couldn't agree more. Again, with him exiling a creature as being one of his Secret Lair cards makes sense. With who he is. So, Duncan, get the next one for
us. So we're working on different sites. So the next one I have is Saw in Half.
Yeah.
Now, Saw in Half is another card that when it came out, I believe it was originally an uncard. I'm not positive about that. Somebody told me they thought I was right. I haven't looked it up. Sorry, I didn't do my research on that a little bit. But it seems like it should be. Because it destroys target creature and makes 2 copies of them that are 1/1s. You know, so again, a great card to have in him. And the art is him literally being sawn in half by a giant buzzsaw while he's wearing like a magician's outfit and tipping his top hat.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's great. And the flavor text here just says, "Don't try this at home, kids. Magic is super dangerous."
Again, so good. Like, just a well done card. Perfect for him, because there's a lot of times where he's cut in half and he just regenerates himself and continues on. So well done there. So the next one that I have, and then Duncan will take it home with the last one, Blasphemous Act. This is a picture of him on a lawn chair on the moon, eating a sandwich with
burrito.
A burrito. I'm sorry, a burrito with the...
Oh, wait, that's probably a chimichanga, actually.
Yeah, it probably is a chimichanga. It looks like one. It might be.
I mean, burritos and chimichangas from a distance kind of look alike, but knowing him, it's a chimichanga.
It's a chimichanga, and he's snapping his Thanos gauntlet that he has all the Infinity Stones in to obviously deal 13 damage to all creatures, basically destroying everything. And it says, "You might be wondering why I've killed the Marvel Universe yet again, but the real question is, how am I breathing on the moon?"
Yeah. It's a great line.
Again, great line. Good art again. This artist being Tomaz Zarucci. Sorry if I butchered your name, but really cool art. You can see literally the earth exploding out in the distance while he's chewing on his chimichanga. So, really well done.
The last one is Vandal Blast.
I love this art too.
I love this art too. I do feel like this is an edited art. I feel like probably originally there was no flamethrower involved, maybe just a lighter.
Yeah.
He is bent over with the flamethrower between his legs, shooting backwards. And the flavor text, and there's, who is that with their shocked face? Can you tell?
I can't tell. Hold on, let me see.
I think it's Cable again.
Yeah, it might be because again they did the whole Cable thing. So, and it's Vandal Blast is the card for this one, by the way.
Yeah. But it says, "Look at me, I'm Chandra Nalar." So using lore from Magic, but just like he would, like.
Oh, I think that's Doctor Strange.
Oh, that could be. Yeah.
Yeah, because of the cape.
The cape.
I think that's Doctor Strange.
And can
in the picture, tell him what he's burning in the picture.
Black Lotus. Yeah.
Again, breaking the fourth wall, realizing he's in the card game, and he burns what everyone would consider the most valuable card.
Well, besides the One Ring.
Besides the One Ring now. But I think even more people would say, even though the value of Black Lotus is less than the One Ring, they would still, I think, say Black Lotus kind of just takes the edge because it's like the original expensive card, you know.
And who's the artist here?
On this one, this artist is going to be Miguel Mercado. So really,
I want artist proofs of these cards so bad.
Oh man, especially because I feel like they would like ask you like, "Are you okay if I go a little bit more on the raunchy side?" Like, yeah, absolutely, go for it.
Yeah.
But these are super cool. I mean, well done art, well done for each card they selected. I think it makes sense.
Yep.
You know, all of the cards were super cool. And then there's supposed to be a bonus card. That they mentioned. Now this is funny because this is actually an uncard, and they haven't really said anything about it since they
haven't.
It.
Now, I want to pull up this specific one because it did exist as an uncard.
Mm-hmm.
It's Blacker Lotus. This is not, as far as I know, been confirmed by Wizards, but people have shown it as being a possible bonus card.
Right.
It is new art for Deadpool, and it looks like he modified a Black Lotus
Sharpie
with a Sharpie and some other pens, some paint.
Yeah.
He and then now so Blacker Lotus, just for those that don't know, because this is an uncard. Tap, tear Blacker Lotus into pieces, add 4 mana of any one color, remove the pieces from the game. And the flavor text here: "I made it better. You're welcome. XOXO Deadpool."
Yeah.
So I believe this is real.
I mean, I would be hard pressed
to
believe this.
I
isn't
love
real.
the thought that this was actually a Black Lotus that he is making you rip up.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, nobody knows for sure that I know of
Mm-hmm.
about whether or not, because this is not silver border,
Right.
It does not have an acorn.
Yeah.
Those two things should mean this is legal to play
Right.
in Commander and Vintage and Legacy.
But the real question is,
And I think Modern.
would anybody actually rip it up?
People have said online they would. Who knows? I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
I would proxy it and then rip it up.
I would bring a stack of proxies maybe and then rip them up, and that way I always have
If
them.
Ryan Reynolds was standing there, I might rip it up if he would sign the pieces.
Yeah, and
If I do this, will you sign the pieces?
yeah,
Like,
right.
not that he had anything really to do with creating these, but but so anyway, nobody knows for sure. However, Scryfall is showing this as not legal.
Right, and they do that sometimes before cards are dropped, obviously, because they're not actually released yet. So it could be because of that. Because, for example, we had a similar issue happen at the shop during pre-release weekend, which we'll go over once we get to that. But so sometimes they do that before the cards drop, just because it's like, hey, you can't use these yet. They're not actually out in the world, so they're not legal. However, it would make sense that this wouldn't be a playable card because you would get a lot of people who are like, well, I'm not going to rip this card. Then you're like, well, technically you can't use the ability because that's what the card says you have. You know? And so it would get very, I feel like it would just get a lot of controversy.
If you were in a
forth.
tournament and you had something like that, you're allowed to proxy at a tournament.
Right.
Judges just have to approve the proxy. So you could proxy to rip it up.
Right.
You could do things like that. It does kind of defeat the purpose.
Right. Because then it's like, well, you're not actually ripping up the card. Like, what's the point? Right. So, but I do think that it probably shouldn't be legal, as funny as I think it is and as funny as it would to actually have it and run it. I don't think it should be legal. Obviously, it's a really strong card, especially with their whole, like, we want to slow down the game.
Yeah.
And then they make a 0-cost 4-mana of any one color card legal.
Yeah.
Like, that would be parody.
It would.
That would be worse than
if
Jewel
you were
Lotus.
if it was legal only if it was not proxied or something like that, and you have to rip it
And
up.
you have to
It's
rip
like
it.
go ahead.
Yeah. Like,
You're gonna get it one time.
right.
You're gonna probably rip up. It's gonna make all the others way more valuable.
Right.
You go right ahead, Chuckles.
Right. So,
So who knows? But anyway, my initial thought was it would be legal because it was not silver bordered and it was not. But it would probably break the game. It would have to be a game changer at the least, and it would probably get banned.
yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that they would probably even maybe, you know, yeah, I mean, they would have to flat out ban this because, like, even in CEDH, like, who wouldn't run this?
Yeah.
Like, it would just be crazy.
Oh, in CEDH, everybody would
Yeah,
run it. And it's
every
not
single
even. They would be the number one.
Yeah.
They might even in a tournament be willing to use the real one and say,
Right.
you know what? Sure.
So, but yeah, I don't think this will be legal. As funny as it is, I definitely will probably build it because very generously Jeff and Duncan actually bought this for me for my birthday because they know I'm a big Deadpool fan, and I wasn't able to get it because it dropped. Like we said, it literally dropped out of nowhere on April 1st.
So let's talk about the drop itself.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not only did they drop the coolest Secret Lair they've ever dropped, in my opinion. Right.
It's up there for sure.
I think it's the coolest.
Yeah.
It didn't really have a problem.
Right.
They had a reasonable limit. You could only buy 3 of each one, the foil and non-foil.
Which on that, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank God.
You finally figured it out.
Right. I mean, it's somewhat sad for those people who might have been like, "Hey, I can't do this. I'm at work. I know you're off this day. Can you buy me some?" But they capped it so you could only get 3.
But here's the thing.
But
Not only that, they had so many available. It didn't sell out until halfway through the day after.
wow.
So even if you were working, you could go on and get it. Here's my story. I am usually on top of this stuff. I'm on it. The last one for the SpongeBob, I didn't care that much, so I was like 6 minutes late. I was an hour and 15 minutes late for this one.
Right.
I was going to try and remember to look to see if this drop was real. They hadn't told what it was yet. So I was going to look, but I forgot. I wasn't really top of mind because I really thought it was probably an April Fool's joke and it would just be
Right.
something funny. And Jeff came into my office. He's at like 9 after 1. He's like, dude, Deadpool Secret Lair, jump on now. I'm like, oh, geez, there's no way I'm going to get it. And I got on and it says more than an hour. And I'm like, there's no way. All right. Then I look at my phone, and all my other friends had texted me like, dude, Secret Lair, Secret Lair, Secret Lair, Deadpool
Right.
Secret Lair. They were all over it. In fact, one of them had already checked out and asked everybody if they wanted any. I had missed that. I'm like, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it. I got it. I had to wait like 2 hours or so.
Right.
Better than some of the other Secret Lairs I've been there right at the start for.
Right, for sure. And what I want to point out with that is that's 2 hours. That's only 2 hours after you're an hour late.
An hour and 15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So you had a whole hour and 15 minutes behind everybody else, and you were able to get into line, get your product, buy it, and get out before pretty much any other Secret Lair I've heard you talk about thus far.
Yeah.
Even with the Marvel one that went pretty well, all things considered, for like the big batch with all of them. Even quicker than that one, you were there right when that one started.
Yeah.
And that one took you longer than this one. So maybe they did some improvements.
Here's the sad thing. You figured this out on April Fool's. So if the next one fails, it feels like that was the April Fool's, that everything worked. Right. So you better run right the next time.
Well, and I think too, maybe one of the things was because everyone may have thought it was an April Fool's joke, there was more trickling, right? There wasn't.
I don't know. I
hundreds
think
of
a ton
thousands
of
of
people
people
bought
there,
this.
right there.
But the other
I
thing
think
was
they
the
did.
limit helped.
Yeah, so I think the limit helped. I think potentially maybe like people trickling in like you were, like not everyone was there right at the gate, right? Because there might have been people who really thought like there's no way this is real. Like this has to be a joke. They would not do this to us. Like just randomly drop a Secret Lair, right? Like they wouldn't do that. That's crazy. Like who would do that? But I also think too that they might have been more prepared for this one with actual printings, because I think
they had to be.
They had to be, because there's no way that they didn't sell out for a day and a half for Deadpool.
Right. Now the non-foils sold out that first day.
Yeah, okay. Which would make
shortly
sense.
after,
because they were
checked
like,
out.
I think, like I said at the beginning, I think they were like $10 less overall. I think it was $39.99 compared to $49.99 or something like that, or $34.99, something close to that.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I do think that they prepared a lot more ahead for this, because maybe they knew, even if this is an April Fool's joke or whatever, and we're dropping on April Fool's, we do know people love this character that much, you know?
So now I can't remember if it was the day of or the day after. An article was published that said, by Wizards, that said that this was going to be available in WPN stores as part of its mechanically unique non-foil versions would be available on April 25th.
Yeah.
Okay. I immediately called Mystic Forge, my game store.
Yep.
That I go to.
I mean, it's
and
our game
said-
store. You just go there more.
Yeah,
Calm
and
down.
said, is this true? And when the one owner answered, he's like, we have not heard anything about it.
Right.
I don't think it's true. I have no way. I go on their website right now. There's no way to order it. I said, okay, on his distributor's website. Then the next day.
Because that was a Monday, right? April 1st was a Monday.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. I called the same day. I called right after I checked out because I was like, oh, this is mechanically unique. It was before I saw the article.
Right, yeah.
I
'Cause
called
article
the
was
same
next
day.
day.
I had not seen the article. I called, and that's what he said. Then I saw the article, called back to say, hey, you can get these. I don't know how, but you can get them. And the other owner answered, and he said, let me check something. Remember back when we announced that there was going to be Marvel Secret Lairs available in WPN stores?
Yeah.
We thought it was the ones that had already come out. It was this one. So the ones they ordered were the Deadpool. They didn't know it.
Oh, that's hysterical. That's so funny.
But the problem is, I don't know how many my store order. I told them, I don't care how many it says you can order them all. If you don't sell them, I will buy them. Back when I thought it was the original.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe they did buy them all.
Yeah,
that they
I
could.
mean, I'll tell you this much. You're gonna be hard pressed to get any of these.
But they were, when that happened, they weren't originally going to order any. They were like, are people really interested? And I'm like, can I pre-order one? They're like, oh, you're interested? And then Jeff pre-ordered one through them.
Right.
And we're like, yeah, we're interested. And so then they said, okay, well, then we'll order them. So they wouldn't tell me how many they ordered, or because I don't think they know their final numbers yet.
Yeah, they probably put
They
in,
ask for a certain amount,
right.
but how
And
many
then-
they're going to get, who knows?
Yeah, similar to our work here, we ask for a certain amount of stuff, and then they'll be like, okay, well, we can give you this much.
But I mean, I'm sure there were some stores that either didn't order it because they didn't know what it was or
Right.
didn't order enough.
Right.
So I know they wanted this to be a surprise, but that is kind of sucky if you wanted it and you didn't know that that's what it was, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and I think too, like that is kind of a sucky part. Obviously, it would have been. I feel like it would have been more sucky if they're like, "Why is it saying Deadpool on all this stuff?" Like that's not a real thing. Like I feel like
it would
I feel like that might have been worse because.
But they should have said this is a brand new Marvel Secret Lair that you're ordering. That might have made a difference.
Well, because the other thing is too, which we don't know this. Maybe they are still sending them the other packs with this one now. Like maybe based on.
So Connor, the other owner, checked, and the exact number that they ordered, it showed Deadpool now.
Oh.
So
maybe Deadpool just took them. Maybe they were supposed to get the other ones, and they're just like, "Nah, we're getting Deadpool took them."
Maybe.
Sorry.
I don't know. But anyway, so April 25th, if you didn't get this, check with your stores. They should know ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Some stores may not be selling them. Some stores may be doing them as promos for a contest.
Well, because again, it's also only you said the WPN stores.
Yeah.
Right. So it has to be a WPN store. So the easiest way to figure that out is just ask the store owner when you're there next time in your shop. And then the other thing, again, remember, please, non-foiled only is what they're supposed to be sending to the stores. So
check with your store. My store didn't know the details either as far as like, are they allowed to sell them? I think the rules kind of come with them or when they know their allocation.
Right.
But April 25th is the day.
Yeah. So that's exciting. And we'll see how this goes now. Now we have an official date for the first time we're going to see these in stores. We'll see how this goes. We'll see if there's any distributing issues. We'll see if there's anything.
If April 25th comes and they're like, we haven't got them yet.
Yeah. You know, so we'll know that. Obviously, Duncan goes to the shop a lot, so he'll be able to keep tabs on it. I try to go there when I can, but yeah, we'll try to keep you updated with how our store is doing and how it's going with them, and so that way you guys can have a perspective at least somewhat.
Right. So that's the Deadpool Secret Lair. That was really cool. So
super fun.
Now the next Secret Lair. So this Deadpool came out. I don't know. Remember if I think it was like a week after SpongeBob. Maybe it was 2 weeks. It felt like a week.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. Pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah. And now they have a Commander Deck that they're going to announce Wednesday. So that would be April. Today's the 7th when we're recording. So this would be April 9th at 9 a.m. Western time. They're going to announce what it is. Some are thinking because that 9 a.m. time is the time they always release the Secret Lairs. Right. So for us, that's noon on the East Coast. That they may release it at the same time. So be prepared for that in case they do that. I think that would be awful stupid, to be honest. Why would you make people watch something and it's like, oh, you just missed it. It was over there.
Right.
You know, so I don't think they're doing that, but maybe the next Monday or maybe they'll tell when. But it's a full Commander deck of some sort.
Right.
Now, the only speculation I've seen is that so some creators, some of the bigger creators got like a email and it looked like a party invitation. And it was like, talking about help us celebrate and this kind of a thing. And it was like a theme. And somebody said based on it, it kind of looked like a release party invitation for like a pop star or something.
Right.
And so those Hatsune, I can't remember the name, but Hatsune Secret Lairs they've done about the pop star. They thought it might be a full deck based on that. Not something I'm interested in unless the theme of the deck is really cool. If it's mechanically unique, I might be really interested in it, but I'm betting it's going to be reskinned. But that's the only speculation I saw. So it is what it is. Like I said, I'll try and edit this enough so it can come out Wednesday morning instead of our normal Thursday, and that way maybe I'll have some warning and people can check it out. That's all I know about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, in regards to this, I think it is cool that they're doing a full-on deck Secret Lair. I definitely think they could do a lot of fun stuff with that. You know, making some new mechanically unique cards, reskinning some stuff, making a mechanically unique commander. But my big thing is I feel like we're getting a little oversaturated with Secret Lair stuff.
So there's a lot of people feeling that way,
right?
Especially this month because the SpongeBob one. There was, I don't remember how many, but there was a lot of Secret Lairs on that day that were released.
Right.
I got the Twisted Tomb ones that came out that way, the Tragic Romance one that came out that day. That's the only ones I bought with the SpongeBob.
Right.
there were other ones though. You know, there was high school yearbook ones, and there was like one or two more, and then Deadpool, and now this deck, and who knows what else.
Right.
And people are like, slow down. Financially, it's hard to put up with.
Right.
The stress of having to get online and sit in these lines and not knowing how it's going to go.
Right. I mean, again, a lot of people, when they're releasing these, a lot of people are at work for the most part.
Yeah.
It is something that it takes up either your lunch break or longer. And if you're not privy to have a job where you can maybe have it open in a tab in the background, like there's a good chance that you're not going to get these and you're going to miss out. And it really sucks if it's something you care about. Like, you know, imagine you being a huge Deadpool fan and then you find out in the middle of the day this dropped. Luckily, they did a good job with printing, but I mean, I would have been devastated if I didn't hear anything about it until a day or two later. Like, yeah, did you hear about the Deadpool drop? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, we just had a Secret Lair. There's no way, right? And so I do feel like, even as someone who doesn't partake in and purchase a lot of Secret Lairs myself, and I'm just privy to hear about it through Duncan and Jeff, I do think we're getting a little much right now. I think they need to pull back the reins. I think maybe some of this is driven by Hasbro, maybe seeing how well these usually do.
I mean, they're whipping that cash cow, trying to get as much out of it as they can.
Right, and that's what it kind of feels like. They kind of realize, well, people aren't as excited about sets, but they love Secret Lairs. Let's just make a bunch of Secret Lairs in between the sets that come out every month. It's like, give me a break. Like, we just had the pre-release for Tarkir. It's still not even out yet, and we've had two other sets that are dropping. Like, we have two other things that are dropping before this set even drops. Yeah. Like,
so that's a good segue, though, because the next thing I wanted to talk about was the Tarkir Secret Lair.
Right.
Or, there's no Tarkir Secret Lair. That was a misspeak.
That was a misspoke. Don't do
pre-release.
It, don't do it. Don't do it, Wizards.
The pre-release.
Right.
So, unlike some of the recent sets, this one seems to have been very popular.
Oh, my goodness. The shop was loaded.
How did
it go Saturday night?
Saturday night was still a pretty good showing. Not as big as Friday night. But it was like half as many people, which was still very full.
Yeah, because there was...
They had to break out extra chairs. They had to, like, move people around.
Right.
They had to strip down the Warhammer tables, which is unheard of there.
Right.
You know what I mean? To allow people to sit there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we went on Friday. This past Friday is when the Tarkir... I almost did it too. Tarkir pre-release. Jeez, Louis. The Tarkir pre-release was. So we went there. We went to the shop Friday night. Luckily, I was available to go. So Duncan actually played in the pre-release, which we'll let him talk about that for a second in a minute. But when I was there, before the event started, we got there about 30 minutes, or we actually pulled into the parking lot at the same time. We got there about 30 minutes early, and it was already packed.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was already there. And it got to the point of where the store had to announce, guys, you have to put your stuff on the ground. You can't use a chair for your stuff.
Or the table.
We need every single chair in every single spot. There was 22 or 23 games for the first round, I think, set up. So doing quick math, that's 46 people showed up for pre-release. Myself, not playing in it, I had to sit at the very, very back table, and one of the guys at our table didn't even have a chair to sit in to play with us, so he had to stand and sit on the ground. Luckily, they found a chair in the back for him and brought it up. But there was other guys at one of the other tables. They had two guys that were just standing and playing because they just they ran out of chairs. It was so popular. So good for the shop for sure for the showing, and I hope everyone had a good time. But yeah, I mean, it was crazy just being a spectator. I walked around. I watched a little bit of Duncan's couple games. I watched a little bit of our friend Lizard's games too. So I got to kind of see that, and I haven't been to a pre-release in a while, so I don't know if they normally do this, but they had pre-release kits. Yeah,
so they always have pre-release kits, but this time it was unique because they have different kits, one for each of the
clans, quote unquote. And there was 5 clans that they did because there was 5 precons.
Yep, Sultai, Jeskai, Mardu, all that.
Yep. So you got to pick which clan.
So if you pre-ordered, you got to pick your clan. I pre-ordered. I played Sultai. That's why I wanted to play. So Mardu sold out immediately. Like, they were just out. I think they had pre-ordered most of them.
Right.
And very shortly, with people coming in, those that knew about it said, hey, here's my entry fee. I want Mardu. And then everybody else had to pick from what was left.
Right.
So the second day, there was only 3 clans left. I don't know how many anyway, but
crazy.
It was a cool concept because one pack was with your clan. It was seeded with cards from your clan. It had the same rarities and stuff, but all the cards would fit your clan.
Right, would fit your
The
deck.
other packs were all normal.
Right.
Worst showing I've had in a pre-release in a long time. Just didn't have very good luck.
Right.
But it is what it is. I did it for fun. I don't play in pre-release a lot, but this set I really liked, so I wanted to. And I think the trend is every year there's one set that seems to do this. That seems to draw out the most people.
Right.
So I think this was that set. People love dragons. They wanted to play with it. They did some cool stuff with monks and second spells you cast, and the cards were really well built. So that was, I think, behind the popularity on this one.
For sure. He got booster box and a collector's box, which I did open. I already cracked the collector's box for him, and that's up on our website on YouTube. You can go watch that, see what Duncan pulled, see if we got a Mox Jasper.
Yeah.
So I got to witness firsthand the devastation of Dracogenesis.
Yeah.
It is gross. It is so stupid. Because it's literally just you can cast dragons for free. It doesn't say from hand, doesn't say from command zone, doesn't say from just you can just cast them for free. So if you get anything that lets you cast from it, it's just gross. It's so gross. It is such a silly card. There's no reason why that card could not be on the Game Changers. Like I'm fully convinced now, seeing it that night, it needs to be on the Game Changers list. Don't have to ban it. It needs to be a Game Changer though, because it literally ended the game immediately. He cast it, no one could stop it. He had 15 dragons out in one turn, and every single one of them, when they came in, did like 6+ damage to every single. Like it was crazy. Like there was nothing no one could do.
Yeah.
The game ended. So, my opinion, seeing it that night and seeing it a couple times that night, definitely think it should be on the Game Changers list. I don't think you'll be able to convince me otherwise. The 8 mana cost, don't care. Like that's not enough.
Yeah.
It needs to be 10. It needs to be
sounds like though
omniscience.
there were other things in play. It sounds like he had the storm card that when a dragon comes in, it deals damage equal to its power or something.
It was mid to late game. It was kind of at the point where the game was probably getting close to ending. I had done a pretty decent job of fending off a couple of people with my new Fight Fixer deck, just because she's a sack deck, and when I sack, I make other people sack. So people couldn't really keep stuff out. So I was kind of keeping everything at bay. Yeah, I can't make him sack 15 dragons. Like, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Especially not at instant speed. Like, there's nothing I can do. I was screwed. And it was just like, we just sat there because I didn't realize that he had the dragon that he says you can cast dragons basically from your graveyard. And I was like, and we just did a board wipe. Yeah, he had all of them in his graveyard. It was just so gross.
Yeah.
It was silly.
It's definitely powerful.
Yeah,
it's nutty.
For sure.
I'm not a big dragon guy. I don't want to play dragons. So
yeah, I mean, I would say if in regards to just and he was playing Dragon as the commander too. So it was again free. Cast him for free from the command zone. 10 mana, free. So. So it was just it's definitely a strong card. There are some other cards from the set too. The one that I was looking for, the black one that has mobilize, and you mobilize X equal to the amount of creatures in your graveyard. Lizard was very kind. He actually pulled that from a pack and gave it to me. He actually got the cool full art version. He gave me that. That was very kind of him. So I got to put that in my Kels Fight Fixer deck and almost got to use. I was this close to getting to use it, and then someone killed it right before I could. I was like, darn it, because I was about to mobilize like 6 or 7.
Yeah,
it was gonna be gross. So, but yeah, and just so you guys are aware, and this is something that I guess we'll count this as a pro tip for today. I wasn't going to do one, but we'll count this. When they do pre-release stuff, don't look up if a card's legal. None of them are legal.
Right.
Until the actual release. So we had someone at our table. They're like, yeah, I looked up this card, like Mox Jasper, which was the chase card. He got one, not the serialized or anything, just the regular one out of the regular packs. He pulled one. And he's like, it sucks that this card's banned. And we all looked at him like, what are you talking about? He goes like, yeah, it's banned in literally every single format. I'm like, what are you talking about? He looks it up. And sure enough, on the official website, banned in every format. Yeah, it's pre-release weekend. Of course it's going to be banned in every format. You're not allowed to use it in tournaments yet. It's not out.
Yeah.
So when you go to look up cards that pre-release, just because they say they're banned, they're not actually banned. You got to wait till they actually come out the following weekend before you start assuming that they're
Yeah,
banned.
I don't think there's been any time they have pre-banned a card except for in Commander. Lutri.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the little otter. He got banned.
Yep. Pre-banned.
Yeah, and they made a huge video about that, so everyone kind of knew like he's
Yeah.
banned. There's no even reason to wait. But yeah, just pro tip, just so you know, pre-release weekend, everything's banned.
Yep.
Wait till the next weekend, then find out what's not banned.
And so the last bit of stuff I wanted to go over is something cool my shop's doing.
Yeah,
Starts this coming weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Commander Precon League.
this is amazing. This is if I were to care about anything in regards to command, like this is it. This is something that I would 100% do if the shop was not 35 minutes from my house. I would be in this.
I still
so
say go
fast.
for it.
It's the problem is, which we'll go over in a second, but the problem is it's a weekly commitment for I think 12 weeks.
It is, but if you miss, you miss. It's not a big deal. You can still get your packs when you come back. You'll still be able to buy the packs that you were. You just don't get the wins. I mean, it's going to hurt your wins.
Yeah, that's what I care about though.
I mean, just get good. Get good.
Get there every week for 12 weeks
just
straight.
when you are there,
Just win.
win. Just
Yeah.
don't lose.
So the concept of this, which if you are going to do a league for Commander, this is how you do it, in my opinion. Though, as soon as Duncan told me about this, I was like, this is genius. This is 100% a way to make a fair, competitive Commander league where everything's basically under control for the first week. Everyone's coming in at the same level. There's no advantages. It's just straight up, you are playing with a precon from the selected precons that they're considering equal playing.
Like, for instance, the Modern Horizons 3 precons were banned.
And then the Lost Caverns of Ixalan's, I think, were banned too.
Yep.
Because they were wicked
They
strong.
were strong. And any of the Universes Beyond ones were banned.
Yep.
Pretty much just standard release with the exception of the Ixalan because those ones were, for some reason, of a higher level.
Yeah, they did a really good job with those. They were very pointed. So,
But other than that, it was good to go. Now it's also limited by you have to buy it through them.
yep.
So it's limited to what they can get, and a lot of precons are sold out. There isn't beaucoup choices, right?
Right. Which I think is part of the fun. I like that.
So, but the deal is you buy the precon through them. Each week,
Including the first week.
you can buy one collector booster or 3 play boosters packs of a standard legal set to
Add or
exchange deck cards in your deck. Well, you can't add. It's 100 cards. You can't have 100 more.
So exchange cards to
swap
upgrade your
card
deck.
to upgrade your deck with. You can upgrade basic lands whenever you want. So if you're taking out tap lands to put in basics, that's fine.
Yeah.
But they will keep the deck list current, so they'll know what you have.
Yeah. So each week you'll have to go in and then update your deck list.
I
with
think
them.
that they're really talking about keeping the decks there, but some people may not want them kept there. They're worried about that. So in which case, they may allow one-offs. But the problem is they need time to verify that your deck list is accurate.
Right. And I think personally, if you're doing this, absolutely leave them there because it does 2 things. 1, it gives them time to verify and check and make sure everything's up to date. 2, it makes sure that 1, you don't forget it. You're not changing cards out last minute, forgetting like, oh crap, I can't do this. Like, I think it's just safer if they say, hey guys, if you're gonna do this, we need you to leave the decks here for us. What we'll do is you don't have to, if you don't want to give us one of your boxes, we understand. Either get a plastic baggie or maybe we'll loan you a box.
Keep it in the box it comes in.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. There's a bunch of things you can do. I mean, I know for a fact you can go buy a deck case box for $3. The plastic ones that just
they sell them there.
Yeah, and you can put your name right across the top. There's no confusion. This is mine. Here you go. Perfect. I definitely think they should leave them there. So, and it's 12 weeks long every Saturday night,
7 p.m.
7 p.m. So you want to get there early to buy your packs to then update your deck if you're going to do any updates to it.
Yep.
And then they haven't announced this part yet, but I'm assuming there's going to be a first, second, third place at the end of the 12 weeks with different prizes.
They're trying to see how many people sign up so that they know kind of what their prize pool is because they don't want to give away all their profits, obviously. That would be pretty silly.
But for buying a Commander deck, I mean, right there, they're getting at least a little bit of money. And then you can buy up to 3 standard or 1 collector boosters pack each week. So they are at least making, and again, great way to make money and encourage people to come into the shop to play.
Yep.
Great way.
Yep. Love it. And I am really shocked some of the power players are actually doing this.
Right. And I think for me personally, one of the reasons why I think this is such a well-constructed way to play a Commander League is I like the idea that everyone starts off at level, like just right off the rip. Everyone's on a precon.
Yep.
And every single week comes down to the luck of your pack. If you get a pack that says busted and you're like, oh baby, like I am living the dream right now. Like you get a great pack with some great cards in it and you can do some major modification, like awesome. Other weeks you might buy packs. It's like, I just bought 3 useless packs. I want to kill myself.
Yeah, there may be nothing you get out.
And again, or you buy a collector's boosters and get great cards. Don't go in your deck.
Yeah.
So
I mean, at least that's a consolation prize. I'd be happy with great cards.
Right. But
because everybody's going to be in that same boat.
Right. And I think that's what's fun about this. And this is such a great idea. I mean, I didn't get a chance to talk to the guys, obviously, about it on Friday night because they were running the tournament, the pre-release tournament. So obviously they were really busy. I didn't want to bog them down or anything like that. I mean, I even went up there to buy some stuff and like there was like 4 or 5 other people constantly up at the front getting stuff and purchasing things, and they were very busy. And again, super, super happy for those guys. I'm glad that pre-release weekend was just phenomenal. It's always makes me happy to see local shops like that, really having a great showing. That's always fun. That's cool to me.
Right. And I mean, the cool thing is there's 2 other shops in town and they were at capacity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
maybe not legally because there's a legal capacity. They were probably well under that. But as far as like space they have available to them.
Right. Yeah. As far as allotted space, they were definitely there because it was crazy. And me and
they pulled out their office chair for one of the chairs. Like we actually, one of the guys is like, I have a Home Depot bucket in my truck. We almost thought we were going to need that. I mean, we didn't, but it was close.
Yeah, it was close. So, but yeah, I mean, in regards to, this is kind of everything that you want to do. Speaking from a business perspective, this is everything you want to do. 1, it encourages people to come back every week to your shop. 2, you're basically guaranteeing that you're going to sell anywhere from 10 to 30 packs every Saturday night.
Yep.
Like, that's ridiculous. And all they're doing is they're coming to play in something that they already paid you for to do. Yeah. So on that front, great. For the player side, the consumer side, this is fantastic. And now I have a reason to actually want to, because like there are some nights where you're like, I am just so burnt out, I don't want to go. But it's like, I need points though.
Yeah,
I need to win.
I need my points.
I need my points.
I mean, I am getting a little bit of a shaft here because the second week is the week of Command Fest in Orlando, which I will be at. So that kind of hurts, but
yeah, I told Duncan, I was like, ask him if I can sub in for you. Maybe I'll just come sub your deck and I'll play for you.
I should ask that, actually. I forgot.
Yeah, ask him and I'll see if I can sub for you. I'll see if I'll sneak down there and I'll sub for you that one night. And then, I'll get you your W. And then, we'll move on. But so all around, great idea. Love this.
Yep, it's very popular.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very surprised. And the other thing I was going to point out, one of the players may have found a way to game the system, but not really. It's not really,
right.
But he thinks he has. So he pre-ordered a collector booster box of Dragons of Tarkir.
Right.
He chose a Dragons of Tarkir deck.
Right.
So each week he is having them hold that.
And then
he'll have one pack.
Right.
He will get to open and pick. Now here's the thing. I was like, is that brilliant? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea?
Right.
3 packs, you're going to get more cards overall.
Right.
But there's more of the rares in there. You might get more of the bombs.
Right.
If you're going dragons, maybe that's a better route.
Well, and all the precons are very dragon heavy.
Yeah, of the Dragons of Tarkir. But if somebody's playing one of the other precons, I mean.
Yeah.
But the thing is, too, like, I don't. The one of the reasons he did it is because you can't guarantee they're going to have collector packs every week. If they sell out, they sell out. They're not going to be like, oh, you can't buy this because it might sell at our Commander League.
Yeah.
They're going to sell it.
Yeah.
So that was his way of guaranteeing he has a collector booster. I don't think I care. I think I'd rather have 3 packs usually.
Me personally, I'd rather go with a variety. Because the one downside is you have a better chance of getting some bangers in that collectors. However, it's only 1 pack, and if every single card in there does not work with your deck,
or it's already in there,
it's like
that's the problem with using the packs from the same thing.
Right.
It's got a higher probability of already being in there, especially
Right.
collector booster.
Now, granted, they are precons, so obviously they're not going to have any of the really, really big hitters. Like, I don't think Draco Genesis was putting any
Right.
precons. I don't think Mox Jasper was putting any precons. I don't think any of those big cards are in there, right?
Right.
So obviously there's still a chance to get those, especially if you're going to focus on the dragons. But I think personally overall, I would take the odds of going maybe 3 packs. I would even say, now if I was playing in this, I was thinking about it. I would say I would probably go 3 packs the first week, and depending on how good I did, maybe I would alternate. Then the next week I go like a collector's boosters. Then I go back to 3
So
packs.
also you can do, instead of a collector booster, if they have Modern Horizons 3 or one of the premium sets,
Yeah.
Universes Beyond, you can buy one of those alternately.
So-
that might be cool too, because then you get some bangers in there.
Right. So, but yeah, I think that this is a cool way to encourage a weekly reoccurrence for your Commander players besides just having your shop open, much like Friday Night Magic, where it encourages people to come out for draft nights for Standard. This is a great way for your shop to encourage Commander players to come out and play, because now that they're there, they play their league game. All right, well, I want to hang out for a little bit longer. Let's play with our regular decks now. And, you know, so I think it's a great way to do it. I would definitely, if you have a shop that you go to on a regular basis, maybe bring this up to them. Tell them about it. Show them this episode or whatever, and say, hey, here's the idea. Maybe reach out to these guys and see how they're doing it, and maybe try to get started at your shop. So definitely think it's a great idea for sure. I'm really excited to see how it plays out for the shop and how it does. And Duncan specifically, as of right now, you are solo repping our podcast.
Yeah.
You need to bring your game, man.
I got to bring my A game.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll keep you guys updated on how it goes. And
weekly updates. We're probably going to start a new segment called the Weekly Update League Rankings. And we'll go through and...
I don't know if I want to talk about my ranking, because that's a lot of pressure. But anyway, we'll talk about how it's going. Maybe I'll tell my ranking if it's going well.
If it's selective ranking.
Yeah. But anyway, that's all the time we have for this week. Thank you for joining us. It's amazing how much you can just talk about stuff that's happening rather than going with a theme. Sometimes there's been a lot happening. But again, thank you guys. If you want to reach out to us, cast@commanderspod.com. Thank you to all our Patreons. If you want to be a Patreon subscriber, it's patreon.com/commanderspod. You can always check out our website, commanderspod.com. And thanks for all your support. We've had a lot of fun recently with the contest we did. All the winners should have their prizes this week.
Yeah, if you got your prizes, by the way, we'd love to see a picture of you with it, and send it to the email that he just mentioned.
Cast@commanderspod.com.
Yeah.
But I think all the winners know that because they emailed it already.
Right.
But anyway, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next week.